make some noise, chat is open. If you're here, let us know, start the cheering. Let's have fun and start connecting. You worry soon you'll be forgetting, 'cause you are here with us now. We are all friends. Sit back and relax, we can begin. Ready or not, here we go. We're all here, so let's start the show. This is the place to be, right here with you and me. Let's meet somebody new. Come and be inspired. The only thing required is to learn and have fun too. Experiment with us, in you we can trust. To live that streaming life, there's no need to be scared, as long as you're prepared. Start the stream and feel alive. Online streaming is a journey. With every step we're always learning. So come with us, let's support each other. We can do everything all together. Ready or not, here we go. We're all here, so let's start the show. This is the place to be, right here with you and me. Let's meet somebody new. Come and be inspired. The only thing required is to learn and have fun too. Experiment with us, in you we can trust. To live that streaming life, there's no need to be scared, as long as you're prepared. Start the stream and feel alive. Your adventure is starting. Nothing compares to streaming. This is the place to be, right here with you and me. Let's meet somebody new. Come and be inspired. The only thing required is to learn and have fun too. Experiment with us, in you we can trust. To live that streaming life, there's no need to be scared, as long as you're prepared. Start the stream and feel alive.
Welcome here in the meeting or in the chat or in the replay. I'm so glad you found us here for another session of the Livestreaming Peer Group Project. So I should know the name. I just got it. And today we have with us Mommy Lala, Einar, and Anna. Welcome, everybody. So,
Hello.
how are you?
Hello. Good. We're good.
Great.
We're ready, Freddy.
Ready, Freddy. And Einar is back inside with power working as usual.
Yes,
Very
but
good.
there is a little lagging here.
Okay. So, yeah, you got the slow internet today then.
Oh, it is the camera connection.
Oh, okay.
Oh, camera.
Camera, eCam is working on it.
Okay. Yeah, so today I wanted to talk a bit
John.
about. John is in the chat. Hello. I wanted to talk a bit about creative. Yeah, now I got it. Ideas for streaming. But before we do that, we have to go through the wins. And I know. Oh, and I have to let in some people. Because I know we had people with wins. Hello. Now we have Janet and Adam. Hello. And specifically, I know Anna had really big wins because last week she was talking about it can be tough to be alone on the stream and how do you do that. And just the day after there was no guest in her stream and Anna just went live anyway. Anna, that was so fantastic to see and it was such a great stream. How did it feel for you?
Oh my goodness. Well, I freaked out. I panicked. I sweat. I almost cried like 5 minutes when I got the text. It was 5 minutes, guys. 5 minutes before going live. But I thought of you, Marcus. I thought of you and I was like, I'm just gonna go and do it. And I just look around my desk and thought about like what can I talk about, and I just went with the flow, and I think it worked really well. I got a few texts afterwards.
It went so good. It was one of your best streams, I think.
Thank you.
And that's not enough on the win side, as if that wasn't enough. I saw you also recorded your podcast the first time with video. How was that?
Oh my gosh, I spent hours and hours yesterday on the editing part. I used like 5 different pieces of software when I could have used one.
Wow.
I made it complicated for myself, but I learned. So I'm glad I went through that struggle because now I can see where I can cut off all the garbage and just make it simple. I was trying to make it too complicated. So I thought about Coach Adam, make it simple. And that's how I'm going to go next time. But it is a real challenge because, I'm usually recording my podcast and I'm reading my script. So now I have to read the computer or, my bullet points and to make it mine, right? Like be natural. It's very difficult in that way. Like I get really nervous that the camera is there and I need to be looking at the camera, but it's a challenge. So I'm welcoming the challenge.
Yeah, and I think that the result is amazing that you achieved.
Thank you.
So yeah, congratulations to this wins. It's so amazing, and it's really inspiring to me to see the wins of other people. And I know Lala has a win streak because she does video after video after video. How is it going there, Lala?
Hi, everyone. First and foremost, good day, good evening, good afternoon, whatever day time it is, wherever you are. So yes, since we started, I kept on trying to just continuously come up with edited video, but tonight was really something different because I really didn't have the time. So I said, but I didn't want to come in without any, work done or output, right? So I always think of Adam. Adam, who has 1,000,001 things to do, can always do it. So I said, no, I can do this. So I decided to just, actually come up with a script. And then what I did was I did an unboxing. I practiced a little bit, put in all the scenes, the music, and everything. And I think it took me 2 or 3 tries before I finally was able to do it. And then no more editing, just upload to YouTube. Did a premiere about an hour ago. Done.
Great.
So there.
Yeah, but that's fantastic, and I love it. And what Lala didn't tell you right there is she to do all that she just stayed up the whole time, and it's 4 a.m. now for you, past 4 a.m. Is that correct?
Yes, it's 4 a.m.
Great. Okay, so great. And yeah, the man we keep hearing about being inspirational is of course Coach Adam. Are you muted? Maybe. Hello.
I am muted.
Now you're here. Yeah.
Yeah, probably for a good reason too. Let me just let me change this so I can hear myself as well. All the controls are on the front of this mic I'm using now, so I have to kind of adjust it sometimes. But I like it. So Little by little, I'm becoming all Elgato. This is the Elgato Wave 3. I've got the Elgato arm. I use the Elgato Wavecam and the Elgato Wave lights. I should call Elgato. Maybe I could become their poster child, but I'm really I'm having fun with them. So anyhow, my congratulations and appreciation to everybody here who is really producing stuff this week. It was so cool to see you guys doing stuff. I actually took last week off, a week of PTO from work, and I produced the least amount of content I have in quite some time, which is still like 3 videos because I was doing every single day. But I went to baseball games. I really love the Padres, our major league team, and I went to 3 games and they're winning. They're like in first place right now. So like it was fun to take a break and have some fun. And I've done a lot of thinking. So I'm on now on video 29 will be tonight. So I'm rolling into my 30s on my adventure, and it's moving along. I'm kind of moving at a steady clip. I have ideas. Every video is pretty easy to pull together. It takes me about a half an hour to pull together everything to go live. Like I was thinking about somebody had suggested you should just do premieres, pre-records, because your stuff is so informational during the week, and then do your lives on the weekends. So I started this Q&A on the weekends, and that's been going really well, and it's more casual. And I did a pre-record and it went well during the week, but it's just not the same for me. And I can do pre-recorded videos. It's not a problem. I just like the live. There's something about it that adds a certain dimension that makes it a little more energetic or risky in a sense. Like you don't know if someone might ask you a question or something might happen. Like, and my profession, I work in the conference space, right? And so we're constantly doing live, right? That's what we do. So like stages and the whole thing's like, that's part of who I am. So I like the live. So I think I'm going to still keep doing the live even during the week. And that'll just be it. The reason why I like it so much too is because then I just prepare, and then the live is what it is. It's more like radio, like you do the show and then you're done. It's edited. It's up there. Like the other way is you got to do all this work and then you put it out there and you hope that it works, right? So I just find, and then you spend so much time working on it. I feel like when I do the premieres or the pre-records, there's a lot of stuff that I pay attention to that no one pays attention to.
Okay.
And when I do the live,
you try to make it too perfect then, or...
Yeah.
Okay.
You get into all the details.
Yeah,
when you do the live, like it just is what it is. And people notice things that you didn't even notice, right? And that actually, I find that that's easier to get to know what you need to fix because you're doing it in real time versus, all of the things you think that are wrong that might not be wrong. Like you might be fixing the wrong thing. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's all good. Now, I'm doing an experiment. I'm having this existential struggle, and Lala knows all about this because I had this existential struggle all through the Expand Your Reach 90-day sprint. And that's the whole idea of podcasting. I love podcasting. Podcasting is my core. It's what I started with. It's how I became known, but I just don't believe in the future of podcasting as it was. It's really what it's become and what it's becoming. And it's really becoming more like what streaming is and what YouTube is and what short form videos are. It's all just the same thing, which is just using technology to communicate. The reason why podcasting was because that was the only way you could do it back then. I mean, the networks could only deliver audio back then, right? Like a video, oh my gosh, what you would have to do to get video to somebody, you'd have to wait to get that onto your iPod. Shuffles didn't have a screen, remember? You just listen. Right. So like, it's the natural progression. And I feel like when I lean into let's go over the fundamentals of podcasting, I'm talking about the past, not the future. So anyway, what I've done, and I hope I don't upset anyone, and I'm going to share my screen just for a second here. And I just want to see how this goes. But you'll see like a few things that have been happening, like I'm trying in the background. So like what I've done is I've pivoted to, you know, the Coach Adam as my brand, and that seems to be going well. I love it. I'm known as a coach at work. I am a coach. I also I've been a running coach before, and so like I'm really big on coaching. But let me just share my screen. Give me a second here and pop over to Ecamm.
And did you say you're hoping not to upset anyone? So
yeah, no.
Should I be worried? Or?
Yeah, no. But you'll see here. So this is my banner. I took out the word podcast, right? So it's Coach Adam Creator Coach, right? And I'm going to start.
You broadened
to calling myself a creator coach, and that includes podcasting, right? Because I still have the microphone.
Yeah,
and I'll
great.
be straight up that I start with podcasting, but it's more than just podcasting. Because like today, we're going to be talking about how to use artificial intelligence to help you write video titles and descriptions. It has nothing to do with podcasting, but I use artificial intelligence too to help me write my scripts for my podcast, right? Like, so it's more about like, and you know, like working with Canva. I have Canva for your podcast, but it could also be Canva for your video. By taking the broader view of focusing on the creator rather than just one thing like podcast or video, I can have a broader conversation. And just like by making that little shift, it opened up just all this stuff. And I'm meeting with, I have an hour with Doc Rock on Friday. We're going to talk about this because Doc has been coaching me. He said, you know, Adam, you got to learn how to say no, right? You got to learn how to say no. So, you know, and that's part of it, you know, and part of it is saying no to your past in a way. Like I was known for X, but I'm doing Y, right? So I need to say no to the past in a way. Not that it didn't exist, but don't try to say, oh, you're known for this, so that's what you should talk about, right? You could talk about other things. And like another thing that you know, like I infer as I am a coach is like, I'm attending WBEX, which is the World Business and Executive Coach Summit 2022 for the last 3 weeks. And I'm attending sessions with other coaches and learning how to help people find what they're looking for, you know, and these are executive business coaches, right? And bringing some of that coaching in and talking about being an effective coach, being an effective community driver, leader, as in the sense of helping people help others, right? We all need that. Like Anna, that's your whole world is about that, right? You're helping people in your community, which in your case, it's the church, right? And or Lala, absolutely. In your case, it's your crafting community, right? And I know it, right? As well, Janet, I'm sure you have your communities, but you know, getting into those conversations as Coach Adam, a creator coach, that's a much easier jump. That's like, oh, he's a podcast guy. He's going to talk about microphones and Audacity all day, right? Or like how to record your voice, right? And I want to get into a conversation that's a little bigger than that. And I think that that's a more fun game to play. And, you know, my audience isn't that well established that it's not going to be like, oh, we're out of here. Like, so I get 15 watches. Oh, I'm going to get 13 watches now.
Perfect. And maybe 10 more for the reason for the shift.
Yeah, exactly. And
it feels like a very natural progression from where it came from. So, hi, Roy in the chat.
Thank you.
And Tony also in the chat today. And I just love his name on YouTube, Tony Iverson, one crazy Dane. Yep.
I do have a question.
Yeah.
So, and you don't have to answer this question, but this is a question I pose to you: is how can I be better? How can I be better? Based on what you've seen me doing, what can I do to be better? What do you think that could be? Like, how can my show be better?
I open that to the paddle here. Okay, it's a tough question. So maybe we have to think about it.
I think that you're heading in the right direction. Just about what you just shared a minute ago. That is a big foundational piece that you were known for something and that you don't want to keep the same, be known for the same thing, right? Like your innovation, you're coming on with something new and you're making your way on establishing who you are now. So I think you're heading the right way. And I'm pretty sure we will let you know when we see that something doesn't look good. But right now, I mean, your graphics look amazing. It's very simple, very like the colors. I just love it. It's like, boom, we know now your colors because you have kept the brand. And when I see the colors, I just know it's you.
Blue,
Yeah,
orange,
yeah.
red, and gray. Those are my
Right.
four colors,
I mean,
right?
I think you're like, again, you're heading in the right direction. Yeah.
Okay, good. But still keep that question in mind. If there's something like,
Yeah.
don't be shy. If you want to really nail me on something like,
Right.
boy, you know, your audio really was not good this time, or
Right.
that was
Right.
distracting, or you went too deep, please, I'm giving you permission to be really
Thank
critical
you.
and picky with me.
Thank you. And
Because I want to get better. I need to be much better than I am now to
Right.
compete
So-
with. I mean, like, so my goal is to be Renee Ritchie, right? And I think I can do it, right? So it's Renee Ritchie that's 100% to me, right? And Renee is the best. You can't, like, I can't think of anyone who does it better than Renee, right? Different idea, like he covers a different area, but when I look at what Renee does, I'm just like, oh man, he's so good, so good. So that's what I'm looking at to give you a model, but I'm not there, and but I hope to be, and that's what I'm striving for.
Right.
Okay.
But remember,
I can't be
you.
Doc. There's only one Doc.
Right. You.
Yeah. Oh no, I understand. It's gonna be me. You can tell I am me, and just like you are you. We are all uniquely us. But like, if I had to say, okay, who is what I'm striving for?
Your inspiration. Yeah.
Yeah, it's look at Renee, and that's like definitely what
Right.
I look at his work. I'm like, damn, he's so
Yeah.
good. So good. And when I was just podcasting, I'd always say that about him too. Like, damn, that Renee. So anyway. So
Okay,
I have a crush on him. He's just like, professional, like so good. He knows it
Okay.
too. He does.
Someone else to that question? Okay, so if not, I would like to give that question back to you, Adam. How can you be better?
How can I be better? Well, obviously, as I say, quantity leads to quality, is to just keep going, right? Because you discover what's wrong in the real time, and maybe not be so hard on myself, and to keep experimenting and not to be afraid of maybe taking some chances. I think that, but when it comes down to like, I see all the warts, like I know it's wrong. I like, ooh, the audio was low on that one, or ooh, I did one. I forgot to turn the lights on until like halfway through. So it's dark.
Okay.
Like you don't notice it, but I do. So like, there's all kinds of stuff that I notice on how I can be better, but I don't think anyone else really notices that stuff. So it's like, that's why I'm more interested in finding out what people notice rather than what I like inside my head. Oh my God, there's so much. I need to lose 20 pounds, like there's all kinds of stuff, right?
Yeah.
That I see that I could be better. Like, how come I'm not more attractive? It's like, but you are, right? You are though, because you're
But
like,
I think that's
being
the-
authentic is attractive, right? We all are.
Right.
We all are, right? Like, oh yeah, I want to hang out with you.
But
You're my
I
buddy.
used to tell people that when I just started, like, this is not camera material. Why should
I'm the same. I mean, come on.
like I look at this hair and stuff.
Yeah, what hair?
I
Should
think
I
that
wear a
also-
wig? I mean, seriously.
I was listening to this podcast this morning, and I can't remember his name, but he's a business guy, and I listened to it because I've gotten 2 or 3 ideas, but I can't go past him because he curses a lot. But the thing is that the noise, like I promise you, he was either in the bathroom or in a mall. I love the hair.
Yeah, I'm just good. Some hair might help.
Yeah, so I'm like, how is it that this guy has like 1,000 listeners when he's not taking care of his background noise, and here I am like telling everybody like, shh, keep the dog quiet and this and that, and they just
Nobody
don't care.
noticed.
And I'm like,
Nobody
oh, it's
cares.
because of the content.
That's right.
You go past by the noise and whatever it looks like back here, but it's, or this hair,
Yeah,
but it's
it's
the
who you are,
content
not how
they're
you are.
giving it.
It's who
Yeah,
you are, not how you
right.
are.
Yeah,
Right. And I
yeah,
have to
yeah.
constantly remind myself because that's not what
Exactly.
I
Me too.
watch. I'm like, ooh, who's that? Right. And I know it's like my eyes are looking and are attracted to this person, looks great. But once they start talking, that's whether or not I'll stick around.
You
Right.
connect,
And
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
you connect. And that's
Now,
just
Lala
authenticity.
does this very, very well.
Yeah,
Very well. I
absolutely.
just love her
That
presence on
Lala.
camera. Yeah.
Oh, she's so
She,
good.
yeah, and you connect with her immediately. And I don't like it because then I want to run to Hobby Lobby and start making crafts, and my husband's like, nope, you're not going.
Yeah, but Anna, let me
So,
tell you, you're perfect on camera, and we all want to see you. And
oh, thank
don't
you.
you doubt it a
Thank you,
second.
friend. Thank you.
Okay.
Oh, before I forget, I have to share with y'all that because Andy just texted me. He's feeling better. I talked to him yesterday, and he was still kind of under the weather, but he
Okay.
feels better.
Great.
And right now he's in grandpa mode. He's taking care of his grandson, so that's why he's
That's
not
nice.
here.
Perfect.
But he did wanted me to share that we started our group with a new streaming for casual conversations. And in one day, we got 150 people.
I saw that.
on the
Congratulations.
group. And
That's
I was like,
awesome.
what? And we see a lot of people commenting and going at it. And we don't know what we're up to there. But he just wanted me to share that. And if
Great.
you have any ideas how to keep the momentum, or if, like Adam said, is there anything that you guys see that we need to implement? And I just created the YouTube channel, so I'm going to put it out there maybe this afternoon or tomorrow.
Great, Anna. You're not stopping with the wins. So crazy.
Right.
Perfect. I'm very happy for you. So now let's go maybe to Einar. How was your week, Einar?
It has been a little strange because I've been a little more sick and
Oh.
everything is right,
Okay.
all right now, almost. And then I was visiting the Danish Parliament one day. It
Okay.
was a very interesting trip.
Great. That sounds
Uh,
fascinating. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was very fascinating. It was in connection with this 50 plus union where we are working to get 50 plus people in work again when they are unemployed.
Okay.
And we got to talk to 6 Danish politicians in the parliament, so they were listening in 2 hours. So that was very good, and they say they have something to work with now. If they didn't have before, they have now.
Great.
And I made a little. It is in the other group with John Pullum. I made a little live video I put out there from outside the parliament, and I made an edited video, and it is on my YouTube channel. So if anyone wants to see it, it is there.
Oh yeah, I saw it was great. I want to see more of Denmark. It's so fascinating to me, at least. I thought it was super cool to see something that we don't see, which is the parliament, and I'm sure there are other places. Even just seeing your corner street or your local market would be interesting to us.
It's not every day you are going inside the parliament.
Of course.
Yeah, but every day you go to the market, right? We'd love to see
Yes.
that. Let's see it.
Yeah, great. So
Keep
I
on.
have to go and look for that video.
A few clips of these 6 persons where they are speaking in 30 seconds because I don't think we are allowed to record video.
How did you get selected for that? That is so cool.
It is this union in Denmark called Senior, where we are trying to help each other. The department we have in Copenhagen have written emails many months to different politicians for them to make this conference. And then one day they ask if they will come out in the city in Copenhagen if we make it outside in a conference room or something like this. And then one of the politicians offered to rent this room inside the parliament. So it was very exciting. So
Great.
we were inside the parliament.
That's cool.
So we have some wins there too, and I will have to go look for that video. I somehow missed that one, so something.
Yeah,
to do
I
there.
put it up on my YouTube channel. Not so much advertising for it because I don't know if it is allowed to be there, but it is there right now.
Okay, so better watch it before it's gone forever. Great.
Yes, but that is why I caught it. The people ask if I have recorded all what they say, but I don't do it because normally you can't make video or footage in this place. But they didn't say anything. Everybody was there with their mobile phones.
Great. So let's
But
go
it was
and
a
watch
great
that.
experience.
Cool. So cool. And then we have Roy in the chat, and he has a win too, in my opinion, because he started to create shorts on YouTube with funny little computer jokes, tech jokes, and I really love them. So
Yeah, super corny, but they're
Yeah.
perfect. They're
Yeah.
really good.
and
Keep
they are
more.
delivered with this trademark dry Roy humor. it's just
It's really
great.
good.
So, Janet, you're up.
Uh-oh. Hi, everybody. I'm just really happy to be here, to be in this group. And yeah, I didn't go live for 2 weeks. And it was really hard to get back, but I'm back. I'm
You're
going
back.
live tomorrow. I'm
Great.
back. But yeah, I had, some personal things to take care of. Our hot water heater leak, burst. And, so we've dealing with plumbers and stuff of life and other stuff. And I also, I'm in the membership, what's it called? TME, membership
The
experience.
membership experience, yeah.
It's really much more than what I thought it was going to be. It really is taking a lot of time
Okay.
that I really didn't foresee. It's an excellent, I highly recommend it. But for me, it's like too much right now.
Okay.
Because they're doing like they're once a week live right now, and I'm like, I need to be with you guys. I need to get back to my stuff because it's like
Yeah.
I have this habit of going, it's like a shiny thing. It's like, oh, there's this course or this something to learn.
I
and
can
then
relate to that.
I'm not doing my
Shiny
things.
object.
Yeah.
I love shiny things.
Yeah.
But there comes a point in time where we have to do and just
Yeah.
go for it. And so I need to get back to that. Well, and I am. That's what my focus is
So
right
you
now on
will
that.
be live tomorrow
I
then.
will be live tomorrow. Yeah.
Great.
No matter what.
What time?
I'm sorry?
What time so we can go and watch
I
it?
always go live at noon Eastern. What are we on? Daylight time.
Yeah, okay.
And I simulcast. I have a private Facebook group called the Animal Lovers Cafe, and I also have a YouTube channel. So that's where I really am trying to get people to go there. But anyhow, yeah, and I usually have a guest, but I haven't for quite a while because I think Marcus in our sprints pointed out something that I thought that I really took to heart, and I think we all need to. For those of us that have shows with guests, what I think you said, Marcus, I can't remember who it was
Okay.
that said it. One of our wonderful people in our sprint group said, I look like a host as opposed to an expert. And I was
Okay.
like, because I was only having guests on. And so people that don't know me, really? No. But, had no idea, or have no idea what I do. And I took that to heart. And I was also having a hard time getting guests. So I
course,
just
yeah.
I started going solo and building more things that, come from me. And now I have a bunch of that. And now I feel like, okay, I'm going to find a balance. So I'm starting to get back to contacting people to become guests again. But yeah, right now I'm still going to be just me solo.
Yeah, and mixing it up is
Yeah, I think it's
quite
important.
nice. And so you you get to practice, or even more practice, to be there on your own. Yeah.
Ooh, but there was something I've learned in this membership thing, because it's like, oh my God, so many golden nuggets. And for me, I have a monthly Meditate with Animals group, and I always wait till the last minute to prepare. And there's several other things that I wait till, like my lives. And they teach you how to do things in segments, and like you can record your video segments all at one time. Just pick a time, record them, and go boom, 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 boom. And then pick a time where you're going to edit. And then you could have a whole month or a whole year of content ready to go. And I thought, or even populate it into whatever platform you have. And I was like, wow, what a concept. That would just take so much last minute pressure off. So one of the things I am working on is to set up a schedule, come up with topics for both my lives and also my monthly meditation things, because I like to have a topic. And I think it's just going to make things a lot easier on me as opposed to doing things last minute. And I think that's something all of us, can do for whatever it is we do when we go live, or whatever it is, if you're teaching or whatever, to take the pressure off of us, going last minute, take a little time and figure out how to get a little bit organized. And so that's one of the things I'm going to start working on, is planning, actually planning, having like a roadmap. And we can always change, but so that's kind of where I am right now.
Great. That sounds awesome. And then I like to pick up from Roy in the chat. We were talking there about the lightning rounds he
speaking of
puts
lightning,
out there. Yeah.
If I suddenly go away, we're having a
Okay.
storm.
Okay.
If I suddenly disappear, that's what happens.
So it's not because you're
But I'll be
rude and
quiet.
don't say goodbye. It's just because of the lightning. Okay, got it.
So I have a
Okay.
question. I have a question for Janet. if That's okay. So you said that you're doing Stu's membership, right? So are you planning a membership? Like, what's your plans for your membership?
Well,
Not so much like what is it about, but like,
yeah.
are you like, when is that going to happen? Is that next year thing? Is it a this year thing? Like, how is your membership going to plan into all of this?
So when I first saw the little thing he had, the free thing before what I thought was his membership, but it's really a course. He said, on the grand scale. So like we saw the big event, back in January.
Right. Where
like a
he was
grand
on for
scale,
like every
right?
day for 2 weeks talking about it all, right?
No, but the one that Livestreaming Pros did, the big.
Oh, okay.
January
Yeah.
event.
So expand your
Thank
reach.
you.
Expand
my
your
mind
reach.
is like poop. I just
Yeah.
had
No,
brain
we get
fart.
it. I get it.
So
Thank you.
that was like big scale, right? But we could do things like that on a smaller scale, right?
Yes.
So he said,
Like Sammy, Superstar Sammy did one, right? He did like
yeah,
a small little one. It was great.
yeah, and we all can do a smaller something, because I don't know about you guys, I don't have staff, and even trying to be Renee Ritchie, he has staff. He has people editing his stuff. He has people that are doing whatever. It's not just him. And a lot of the people that are our heroes, they have people helping them, right? So I think that makes a big difference. But hey, we might get there where we have somebody that we can also help, assist us. Anyhow, I digress. You asked the question about my membership. Thank you. Originally, my intention was, because the promise of this program was, the membership program, was not only could you do it in the grand scale, where you need a lot of coaches and helpers working with you, you could do it on a small scale. And I'm like, okay, I want to learn how to do the smaller scale in a really good way, as opposed to, I've done memberships probably since back when we had teleconferencing. Remember those days? There wasn't this video. And I wanted to do it right and learn how to do it right. And I think I have some tools for that. But now I'm confused, because I see, they're teaching the big picture. And I'm like, I don't think I have the time or energy for that. And continuing to do the other things that I do. So one of the things that they say to do is what's called a founding members launch. And you just go for it. You just say, hey, You get like you do like you tell people for like 3 days, hey, I'm thinking about doing this thing, and I don't don't have a plan yet, but if you guys come together, it's I'm going to close it in 3 days. Whoever comes, they get this really cheap price, and you always keep the really cheap price, and we'll build this together. And then you open your membership up again, however down the road you want to. And so I'm like trying to. A lot of people have done their founding member launch. I haven't, because I keep getting in my head and complicating things.
Can I share
But I
something with you
will.
that might be helpful?
What?
Yeah, so I
Yes.
did this thing. This was,
Yes,
and it
Coach
was
Adam.
about, yeah, it's about 10 years ago that I did this thing. And only if I have permission to tell you about this thing, but it was really simple and it really worked. So what I used to do, my big thing was, I also have a great passion for running. I've finished 4 marathons, and I am not a runner body. I've run many half marathons, but my big thing was a group called the Slow Runners Club. And we owned the back of the pack. And I had a podcast that had, it was fully monetized, thousands of downloads per episode. It went on for about 6 to 7 years. And then I pulled it down about 5 years ago. I decided to go in other directions, but it was a really great time. And I actually ended it at the height. It didn't kind of fall apart. It was really good. And it was hard to say goodbye to this thing, but I had to for various reasons. What we did, we raised like $38,000 for charity for the Diabetes Action Committee. And that was like our membership through the and I had a co-host, my co-host and we had corporate sponsorship to match our goals. And it was really great. We raised a lot of money. We were treated like royalty. We ran the Chicago Marathon twice and once, and we ran the Marine Corps Marathon twice, and like all expenses paid, right? And we raised $40,000 for a great charity. But the way we did it was, and it was like a membership, and it was like, okay, we're all going to prepare and coach. I coached folks for the race, and it was like we were coaching people just to get across the finish line. It wasn't like high performance coaching. It was endurance coaching. These are folks who are running a marathon in 8-9 hours long. Most of it was walking it, right? Like getting to that stage. And there are a lot of people in the back of the pack who do this. That was the whole psychology and focus on our show. But the way we did it was something equivalent to a Zoom meeting. We would do just a Zoom meeting for like 3 months. And what we did was, my co-host and I were our coaches. We were running coaches too. We coached everyone who signed up, and we ran with them, and we helped them. We didn't run side by side with them, but we all showed up together. We had the same shirts, hats, like we ran as a team. We raised all this money for this charity, right? And what we did was, we accepted the money that they paid us to be in part of this program, all went to charity. We accepted nothing. And if you know me, I'm not in it for the money. I'm in it just to build the community. And that's what we did. And we raised a lot of money, right? And we were like, everything was paid for. We had like literally limousine service to the finish line. We started in a separate place. We had masseuse, we had food, we had everything. It was awesome, first class all the way. But because we raised so much money, that's why. But what I'm trying to say was, we had the vision, we did it, we raised the money, but it was just a Zoom call. That's all it was. And it was not even at that time, because this was like 10 years ago, it was just a conference call. And we were just all on the phone, and it was a weekly conference call, and we had a spreadsheet, a Google sheet, and a private group. And it was just, that's all it was. And like, it could be, and it was for 3 months, once a week. And we raised a lot of money, and we did that 3 times. So that's how we did it. But like, now just make it, well, now it's about animals and animal wellness or meditation, whatever it is. But you can like, don't get so caught up on like, is it in Kajabi or the other thing that Stu does, right? Or like, don't just get the people together so you connect with them, because they just want a piece. They want time with the expert, right? Not and guidance, more so, and connection. Feeling connected to others who are looking for the same thing, versus like all that stuff that they're teaching you all this stuff, how to do like email funnels and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I hope that's helpful. And like, the vision for us was about, we're going to write this crazy ass check, like the big one, right? And we did it, right? And so we didn't let not knowing stop us. And our execution was a mess, but it worked because the bigger picture was we were raising money. Like, you got to remember, like, what is it you're really trying to do? Is it that you're trying to help animals? Then that's what will get you there. Remember why you're doing it. And that's the fire, the eternal flame that gets you. I don't care how we get to it's scotch tape, it's bubble gum, like, it's all stick together, and people don't care. They just, they just want to have that authentic experience in the end. And we did it, and it still hurts. It happened 10 years ago. I'm still sore.
Okay. Thank you very
Anyway,
much.
I'm sorry.
for that.
Thank you.
No,
Hopefully
thank-
that was helpful. Yeah.
It was, and you reminded me of in the beginning of the membership experience, it was the bottom line, and what they talked about is what Loya talks about a lot too, is that the community, building the community.
Exactly.
And, that's for me, all that I care about is my community. And so I was thinking, what kind of a membership can I have to bring, and for me, I'm like, do I want to work with beginners, or do I want to work with people that come in, like they call it a backdoor, through a course so everybody's on the same level, and then they go to the membership. So that's where I am right now. And I'm really close to making my decision, and then I'm going to just
Right,
do it.
because with Stu's program,
do
right,
it.
when you finish your course, you have an opportunity to join their continuum membership, right?
I've been
And that's
told
kind of-
that. We haven't gotten there yet, but
Yeah,
you know
you'll
it's
get there,
coming.
yeah,
I mean, anybody
yeah.
that does courses and knows, have studied with anybody that's
Yeah.
the deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the way.
That'll
Okay.
be the offer.
So you will have to maybe to tell us more about in the future.
Sorry to.
Thing. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's fascinating.
absolutely. So I want to say hello to someone new here in the chat, Tony Jack. Well,
Hi, Tony.
help me out there. I want to say someone hello, and I don't even can say the name. Jacobson, or maybe Unbreakable, Mr. Unbreakable. Hello, very nice to meet you here. And always say hello to new. If you're a live streamer and you have someone you see for the first time in chat, very important to say hello and welcome them, because they took the time to write something there. And then back to the lightning round of Roy, because he was writing in the chat. He is surprised they don't get the watches he would have thought. And I have a theory there that maybe people who don't know the person you are interviewing, and if you think from the point of view of someone who doesn't know who your guest, it's maybe not so interesting then. And we know your guest, and then it's great to see those lightning rounds. But that was just my thoughts there. And then the other thing is, I don't know if I have to change the title of this episode, because I promised we would talk about creative live stream ideas, and we have just 15 minutes left. Maybe we talk about that next time or so. But yeah, I was thinking maybe we could put our heads together and think of things out of the box. What can you do in live streaming? But I don't know if we can hit that in the time that we have left.
Okay, for me, I think my experience with ideas for live streaming, when I started,
Yeah.
I didn't have like, a very solid plan in terms of, the content exactly. Like, if you ask me, what am I going to do next week? I don't know. I will try to think about it. All right. So, but eventually I learned that as I continue moving or continue going live, I get the feel of what my community wants, to see or for me to do. Because in the beginning, everything that I was putting out there as a content were things that were, resonated with me, just me. I wasn't really thinking much of what the people who are watching would want to see. But eventually, because the people also in the chat when I was beginning, we're not used to chatting. I know there are people, we call it BG, background watching, but they're not commenting, but you would see that there are people there. So it took a while for me to be able to actually engage with them. And I think that's one thing that I really learned from, being in LIDA. Actually, Marcus was one of those who told me, why don't you make your opening different? Because my opening was always the same. I said, why don't you put what do you call that, Marcus? The hook first before
Oh,
the
yeah,
greeting.
now I remember.
Yes, because we were, the last part of LIDA, we were supposed to show how we do stuff, right? So,
Yeah.
and so Marcus is always there, as we know. Marcus is always in our streams,
I'll
right?
try,
So,
yeah.
and then in one of my sheets, I think it was like 3 or 4 days before the end of LIDA that time, he said, why don't you change, the flow? Instead of greeting first, why don't you put the hook in first? And so I did that, and it worked. It actually worked, right? So when I started asking them questions, so it's not just me giving out information all the time. It's now me asking them questions. So I think they love it that we ask them to be part, and that's why I think the community tab, when you get monetized somehow, is very important in terms of engaging with your community, because you can ask them questions, right? So most of the time we forget that we can actually ask what Adam just mentioned. What do you think? Okay, become better. That one came in for me a little later. So in the beginning, it was really me leading, really me putting out ideas one after the other, and eventually and then of course I had to rewatch, and then those that I know, okay, what do you think? Honestly, what do you think? So I also did what Coach Adam mentioned. And eventually, I don't think in the beginning you would really get to know what the community wants, or what would work best. But as you make more content, as you move along, then you will really get. It's like for me, I'm a Filipino, right? So English is a second language. But from birth, everybody speaks English somehow, whatever form or shape of English, right? So when we grow up, it's like even a small child, you can talk to a small child here in the Philippines, and they can answer you and they can understand. All right, but you ask us, okay, and then when we hear somebody else say that's wrong, why? I don't know. I just feel it's wrong,
Okay.
right? So something like that as well, in terms of the way we come up with ideas. So it's like sometimes I'm going live during my, I have a lot of, I like doing contests or challenges, right? And in an instant, like one of my what do you call this, participants said that she is with her child, and the child was crafting along with her. I said, okay, why don't we have, a crafty challenge kiddie version? Right?
Great.
And then somebody actually added pets, right? So now, even, because it's a fur baby, so he said they want also for their pets to join the crafting. Oh, say, okay, so now I have three, challenges: the regular crafty challenge, and then we have now every weekends the kiddie challenge. And that, I didn't plan for that. It's just that, when I saw the opportunity come during your engagement with, while we're streaming, as Adam said, that's one thing that you cannot get with edited videos,
Yeah.
right? So in when we live stream, we get inputs from everybody in the chat, right? Some people, just recently I had a guest who is a fluid art artist. He loved it so much. The next day, he brought along some of his fluid artist friends along. So now it's like the community is growing into different, art forms already. I didn't plan for that. So I think you just need to, just go out there with a certain, topic that resonates with you first. And eventually, we get to tweak it. We get to make it even better as we go along. a continuous learning. I can't say that this is gonna be Mommy Guide Inc. This is gonna be Crafty Nights for the next so and so months or years. I think it's really a constant change, and we just have to embrace that change and see where it takes. Wow, it took me forever to say that. Sorry.
No, that was very inspirational, and yeah, I what I took from that is listen to what your community tells you they would like, and be open to really hear the potential there, and take the opportunities, and yeah, I think that's a very cool approach, not just sitting by yourself and then thinking things up.
Marcus,
but
just an add-on,
yeah,
Andy. Okay, they started out that Andy was a guest. He was there in the beginning. Then they decided it was so much fun in the chat that you should do this again. So we were commenting, you should do this again. And so they did. And then when they did it, the chat said, this should become a regular thing. It's just so engaging how, Anna and Andy, despite,
yeah,
really have, the same, what do you call this? They may have views, but they interact with each other. It's very, very inspiring. And so now they even have a Facebook group, which is like in one day reach 100 and plus, right? So I don't think Anna and Andy planned that, right, Anna? Right? But because you just did it, and then you listened to your audience, so
Right.
this is where
that was very organic. We didn't plan it, and it's just been wonderful. I think but it's basically what you're saying. It's just let the natural thing come, because if you force it, you're not gonna be creative. You're just gonna be like systematic, and then I don't think you attract people, and your uniqueness is not gonna come back as it should if you're just natural.
absolutely. Yeah, and just take this opportunities. Now, if I'm thinking about it, I just tried out Lida, and I was thinking, yeah, it will be a fun thing. I will never really live stream, and then people there seemed to like what I was doing, and people told me, let's go live, and I did that, and then one thing led to another, and yeah, that's my big takeaway is see the opportunities and take the challenges. Yeah, absolutely. Great. Yeah, I don't know. That feels like a very good closing point. Or has anyone something to amend? Okay. Then
Don't forget, Adam, 8 a.m. for me, 8 p.m. for you guys.
so that's in about how many hours from now, Adam?
Audio, Adam.
Sorry, I have air conditioning going on here.
Okay.
Yeah, so at 5 p.m., 2 hours, I'll be live
In 2
demoing
hours.
Word Hero, which is artificial intelligence. 2 hours, in 2 hours. So 5 p.m. Yeah, it's 2 p.m. No, 3. It's 2.
Yeah, I was
3
just
hours.
thinking
3
yeah,
hours.
3 hours.
3
Okay.
hours.
3 hours and 5 minutes if you want to catch
Yeah.
Adam. Yeah, I don't know. That's 2 a.m. for me, but
You can watch
yeah,
the replay.
but who knows?
Yes.
Lala can make it to here at 4 a.m. So I have no
if you're
excuse.
not, it's okay. Get your
Yeah,
rest.
okay.
No, yes, I'm used
Do
to
it
it.
again. I'll even do it private for you if you wanna see. I'll give you a demo. No problem.
We'll do the replay.
Yeah, no
Yeah,
problem.
8 a.m. for me, correct? Because 5 p.m. PST.
Yeah, but Lala, now it's 5 a.m. for you, and you didn't
Yes.
sleep.
Don't worry, because
You
I
didn't
will sleep
sleep,
after.
so yeah. Lala is.
I'll
I
be
don't know
extra
how
boring.
she does
I
it.
will. After this, actually, I'm sleeping right now, guys. This is me
Okay.
expand your reach. You know that
Ah,
that fake.
oh, you
video?
improved it. You put audio into it now. Yeah.
I was doing.
Yeah.
That's a video.
Yeah,
I got the inspiration from John
great.
Paul.
I don't know how you do it. Not sleeping and still looking this good. It's a miracle. But yeah. I think that's all for today. Thank you all so much for watching and see you all next week. Bye.
Bye.